Where did the idea for Perfectionists come from?
When I started the journey on the brand over 7 years ago, it was really clear that there was an opportunity and a need to inspire and educate the key influencers to consumers, the bartenders. So Patrón Perfectionist for me, from the very beginning, was something that I thought could grow on a global scale. I'd like to feel in many ways we've been able to really express ourselves through this competition and create an identity and experience that's very different to others. Ultimately, what we're trying to create is joy. We're elevating those moments for consumers. We really truly go back to the origin, the place of the brand in Mexico, in the highlands of Jalisco. Literally all roads leading to the Hacienda. And I think that's what makes us unique in many ways. The competitors get the chance to experience is the culture of Mexico, of its people, its artisans, its food, its music, but also then to really gain a first-hand understanding, the taste, the smells, touching the process of making tequila. They gain friendships for life. They gain an understanding of the cultures of others. So there's this real melting pot of experience of the local culture of Mexicans and those who help to make Patrón, but also the people who are traveling from around the world. And they create a friendship and a community that expands beyond the borders of their own country, beyond Mexico, to around the world.
And that way, when you go home and you drink the tequila, you're transported back to those places, and it just makes it a little more informed for you and a little more pleasant. So yeah, it's a really awesome experience.
The pandemic has had a huge impact on the hospitality industry.
My name is Giulia Cuccurullo, and I'm the 2020 Global Patrón Perfectionist. So in the 2020s, creativity was something that it wasn't really cultivated for me. I remember I was working almost every day, and at some point they just decide to close everything.
As the bars are opening back up around the world, they want this opportunity to continue to get involved in programs and activities. And so the pandemic has been an acceleration for that. And it's reminded us that as a brand, it really is beholden upon us to provide that support to our community through these tough times.
Fell in love with the whole competition the first time I went to a glorious 5-star hotel opposite a distillery run by a brand. What a wonderful place to hold a competition final.
And what we do on Difford's Guide is try and support the competition and the bartenders going through the competition by explaining what the competition's about, to encourage people to enter and to understand what it's about, the benefits that it's going to bring to the entrants, and then also following the bartenders' journey throughout the competition, celebrating their wins at the national finals, and then fingers crossed again, meeting with the national finalists in Mexico at the Hacienda, and cheering them on as they go through the global final.
How does a bartender inspire a consumer through digital to make drinks at home that they can make for their own friends? And the Perfectionist is absolutely a mindset. And that's why this competition isn't just about a drink. It's about how does that individual really express themselves, their own story, the story of the drink, and the way that they communicate, they share joy, they educate the consumer, either at the other side of the bar or through the screen, through digital.
A global competition like that really lends to give you a different perspective on what the golden standard is.
So we kept the heart of what the competition is whilst growing it and reaching many more bartenders and consumers all around the world. It's the chance for the bartender to take this amazing product and present it to consumers around the world, across the world, in a way they may never have thought of drinking a spirit, and they may never have appreciated of a product like Patrón.
Not just the master distiller, or it's the people who are hand packing every bottle. It's much more encompassing than just a competition.
As many will know, we had the sad news of the passing of Francisco Alcaraz, our master distiller, the beating heart of the brand from the very beginning. He is someone who absolutely embodied that spirit of Patrón Perfectionist, someone who was always striving to create, but also to constantly deliver something that would be seen as simply perfect time and time again. So for this year, we want to dedicate Patrón Perfectionists and the journey that everyone who enters, who competes, who ultimately attends the global final, It will all be done in celebration and in honor of Francisco and what he's done. For the global finals themselves, we will invite his family, his wife, to come and celebrate what for him was a highlight of his year.
What I learned then was how open Francisco was about how he made Patrón, and didn't hide any detail. And over a couple of hours, he sat there and told us in incredible detail and frankness and honesty of how he'd progressed from being a student through to being a famous master distiller, and it was really quite something.
I think over the past year, there's been a huge amount of reflection. There's been the opportunity for bartenders to hone their skills, to learn more, to educate themselves on their craft. If we look at the criteria of the competition this year with a set ingredient list, I think we're going to see some phenomenal output and creativity in a way that we haven't seen before with these types of restrictions. So we're running virtual finals for the first time. Every country will have a virtual final with judges from around the world. And then we hope that with restrictions being lifted, we will have the opportunity for all of those winners from the national finals to meet at the Hacienda in January. So again, all roads will lead back to our birthplace and our home at the Hacienda in Mexico.